And we are live, except we don't see a face. Let's just put a face on that. Right there. Boom. Here we go. Hey, how you doing? And I'll just turn off the guest mic, guest camera because it's just me right now. I think, Mike, you're there in chat. Yeah, how you doing? Anyone else in chat? Say hi. I'm simultaneously broadcasting on Twitch TV/ForderLearnToFly, and I'm also broadcasting on YouTube/ForderLearnToFly. And to get the best of both worlds, look at this view, you guys. This is the scenery inside 2024. Similar scenery inside X-Plane, Prepare 3D, FSX. They all have their own special scenery. Today we're covering the PilotEdge scenery, FISK approach, live controllers. This is the last day for it. So, you know, we got to do it. I did one yesterday, had a lot of fun. Going to do another one today. You can do this as often as you want. So let me set the stage for this to let you know what's happening here. And as a matter of fact, this is actually a live view in the sim. I'm looking at Pioneer Village here. If you have never been to Oshkosh or you've never seen this sort of thing, this is a huge event. A few years ago, I was here live. I camped here for the week. I actually covered the Redbird simulation setup that they have in the headquarters, which is right there. That building that you see right there is the headquarters for EAA. And that headquarters building, it's really the core of Oshkosh and what made this so popular. For those who don't know, the scenery you're looking at is provided by PilotEdge because I am going to fly the FISK approach with their live controllers so I can show this scenery. This is their proprietary scenery we've installed, which adds all these cars. It adds all the approach stuff properly, and it adds all the tents and all of the airplanes over here. This is runway 2709. And you know, you look at this, this is one of the runways we can use. You can see all the planes, and some have tents. Now, it depends on your graphics card. You could even see more planes. You could even see more tents. And it'll depend also on the version of the scenery that you have, everybody. So if you're flying X-Plane, this will look different, of course, in the X-Plane scenery. So how do we get here from, you know, how do you get to this? And what I want to mention to you, I want to walk you through really quickly without going through the whole manual. There's a huge manual on, it's a NOTAM, it's a Notice to Airmen. It's a huge manual for this event every year. And every year we do this. We also add, on my channel, we also add a landing challenge. So over here on the runways, you'll notice there are dots on the runway. And I'm saying this for those who've never heard of such a thing before. Many of you already know about this. This one's right across from the control tower. So there's the control tower over there. And here's our first, well, not our first dot, but there's the blue dot right at the control tower. That's important when we do our departures. Now there's lots to learn, but I'm just going to go through it simply in this short stream today just to show you what's going on. This is the world's busiest control tower for the week of Oshkosh. Now that's a live event that happens at the end of this month. I'm not sure the exact day. I should look it up. But hey, Sim Tribe, my weekend's going great. All I'm doing is flying in the sim, flying, and more flying. So I've been testing out the Starship. That's the lesson I'll be doing Tuesday. Charlie's been doing some proofreading and fine-tuning, and both of us have been having some fun with that. I've been flying the FISK approach, and I've been also doing the AirVenture FISK approach with Say Intentions, because they're working on that too. So today I'm showing you PilotEdge because this is the last day for it. And I'm going to be flying this baby right here. This is my livery on the Cessna 172 made by our website developer. In chat, you would know him as Manx. He's the one who keeps my website up to date. And he's made this livery for me, the ForderLearnToFly Cessna 172, which is what I use for training others. You notice here with this scenery, this is PilotEdge scenery. I'm going to say that a few times, you guys, because they made it. It's theirs, and it's for their event only, which is what I'm doing today. So I can show the scenery. And otherwise, I can't use it for my streams. We do our landing challenge. I can't use it then either. So you get to see it here, but you won't get to see it again unless you download it yourself. And to do that, you have to be a client. You have to become a PilotEdge client. Now, let me say this, you guys. It's free for 24 hours. You could actually sign up right now, configure your client. You have to go in and just configure a few things, your call sign, your credentials, and then go fly this thing before it's over. Now, it starts, it actually started about 7 minutes ago live. So the controllers are now live. The flagmen down there are now live. Everything here is live. I'm going to go down to an airport further south and fly the FISK approach. That's what I'm going to do here. And then I'll open up the PilotEdge client. You're not seeing any traffic yet because the PilotEdge client isn't running. So let me just not to jump ahead too far here, but take a look at this scenery. It's just amazing. This is normally flat with nothing in it. You'll see the roads. There's nothing here in the normal scenery. When you're not using the PilotEdge scenery, we use something called the Osh dots, we call it. And you can type that into our Twitch chat. You can't type it into the YouTube chat because I'm not at a keyboard right now. Maybe, Mike, you can do that while you're there. That'd be great, right? Oh, logging back into Twitch. Super Ty, we miss you, man. Oh, he's over in YouTube. Okay, cool. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. But he's at YouTube. That's great. So thanks for that. We've got a moderator on each channel. You guys say thanks to the moderators. They help out. It's volunteer, and they make things happen, and they keep the stream clean, as I say. So, you know, all of these airplanes, I've walked down this line. I've actually hooked up with some of these people while I was there, and I went for the FISK approach in their airplane, and talk about a lot of fun. And it just goes on forever, you guys. So once we get the PilotEdge client going, you'll see more here. You'll see more balloons happening. You'll see more flagmen down at the other end that are animated. So this is, it's super exciting. There's no doubt about it. So I want to show you that in action. The first thing I want to do is get out of the sim and go and take my plane to the place that I'm going to start in. All right, so before we start with that, let me just get this settled and then leave it there. Maybe like that. There we go. ForderLearnToFly. That's what that stands for, you guys. FLTF. And but the call sign I would use in other sims and other flying, I use this call sign, Fox Lima Tango Fox, and it's going to be hard for me to use a different call sign. While you're on the PilotEdge network, it's made for pilot testing. It is for students, but it's mainly for real pilots who are practicing, and they have to have the proper phraseology. They also have to have a proper N number. So while I'm flying the PilotEdge network today, I'm going to be using my old standby N number, which is from a Canadian 152 back in the day, 67991, November 67991, and that's what I'm going to use. Interestingly enough, the 9991 also became a very popular series on YouTube, and I think it's Josh, and he does a lot of lessons. He's a CFI, but he's also a movie production guy, so he's actually very popular. And I had this call sign long before we even heard of him, so it's kind of interesting. We both have a 9991. Which is pretty cool. So, so far in YouTube chat, I see Mike and I see Super Ty. Say hello in chat, you guys. I'm used to interactivity. I'm a teacher by trade, so I'm used to seeing some kind of interaction. Say hello, maybe where you're tuning in from, and thanks for taking the time to be here. I'm going to start off with taking a look at the PilotEdge client just to see how to get there and what to do. So the first thing I want to show you, and it's not a long drawn-out thing, you guys. I've done a Tuesday evening 3-hour session showing you how to configure it and how to get it and how to put the scenery. I've done it all. Here, the scenery's already in. That's one big thing. My client's already installed. That's another big, these things are already done. But I want to get you started in case you want to jump in today. You could. If this is completely unfamiliar to you, you probably shouldn't fly it. Just sit on the ground like I am now, listen to the radios and hear the phraseology. Interesting part about this whole event is that you don't talk on the radio unless you're asked to talk. For example, on the whole FISK approach, you never call in to say you're coming. When you're heading toward the runway, you don't call to say you're on base or on final. You don't call for anything. They see you coming, they tell you to rock your wings. This is a famous thing from Oshkosh. Rock your wings, and that's your acknowledgement. You can hear them. All right, and then secondly, as you head towards where you're supposed to land, they will tell you to rock your wings again, or they'll identify you and tell you which dot to land on. That is so awesome. And that's why a lot of people want to do it. All of us as pilots, and I've been a pilot since the 90s, for real, all of us as pilots, this is a bucket list item. We've always wanted to go to Oshkosh and rock our wings. And I've certainly encountered that bucket list a couple times now. So here it is on the PilotEdge website. They are making this possible for us so that we can experience this. Now here I'm going to say something that's going to shock a lot of you. The PilotEdge controllers that are going to be telling us to rock our wings are actual controllers from the real AirVenture Oshkosh event in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That's happening at the end of the month. The same controllers, the same exact voices you will now hear today in my session going into the FISK approach. Same exact voices. They are the same people. It's not AI. It's real people sitting there controlling us. And that is cool because we get to experience as close to realism as possible this approach to Oshkosh, this famous place. This is the biggest air show expo event in the world, and the second biggest is Sun and Fun, where I work every year as a volunteer. So this is a huge thing, you guys, and 10,000 pilots will arrive here, and over 200,000 visitors will arrive here. We've got to accommodate them all. So a lot of us stay in tents. There's camping all over the grounds. There's camping under your wing. There's all of that going on. Now, here with the SimVenture version of it, the PilotEdge version of it, first of all, you go to the PilotEdge website and go to the Sim Market page. Now, you might not be able to get to that page if you don't have an account. So if you do want to participate in this, you would have to sign up for their free account. I can't sign up for the free account because I have an account. I reactivated it for a month just so I can do this for the streams, you guys. And then I'll deactivate it because I'm using AI for everything now. I'm using say intentions for everything. But PilotEdge is great for the rating system. It's also great for talking to real controllers, but they have limited hours and they're mainly on the West Coast, and they're starting to head inland a bit more, and they're on certain hours. So that was not workable for me. I'd have to climb on at midnight or something, right? Like even now, it says here today is 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. All right, so right now that's like 4 o'clock Eastern time. So from 4 till maybe 8 o'clock or something like that. So, I had to be mindful of the times that this is open for us to do the PilotEdge version. But PilotEdge is the same thing, you guys. When you go to fly the real controllers out of LA or out of any of those West Coast cities, you've got to look and see what times the controllers are actually there. All right, it's not like VATSIM where they're all volunteers that go in at all hours of the night and the day. So these are paid controllers. These are licensed paid controllers or retired controllers that certainly know what they're doing. They are trained, and they have to be, because real pilots are going to use this for practice before we go to exams and before we go to check rides. And it's also to help you get your ratings if you're just a student sim pilot. All right, so this does intimidate some people, just like VATSIM does, because these people know what they're talking about. Here, what's really easy and cool about this is that all we have to do is listen to what they say and rock our wings. So that's not so hard. It's a lot easier than talking on the microphone. So unless they ask you a question, they are live controllers. It might not be busy when I get to the FISK approach area, where they're going to decide whether I head off to head off the FISK Avenue, or whether I head off to the runway. And I'll show you that in a minute, you guys. But where I get to that point of decision, if they're busy, they'll just feather us off. First one goes there, second one goes straight. Second one goes there, third one goes, and they'll just keep splitting us up and splitting up the traffic and try and make that happen. If it's not busy, they might even ask, do you have a preference here in the sim anyway? And they did ask me that in real life too. When the time that I went was in the afternoon, when other things were happening. I went and did the FISK approach with a friend in their 150, and when we got to FISK, there was nobody around us. They just said, do you have any preference? That was cool. So the exact thing can happen in real life, which is pretty cool, right? Welcome in, Rubber Duck. Happy to be here. Hey, that's cool. Look at you guys that are here. Super duper 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 duper. Hi, guys. Hello. How's it going? And so glad you tuned in, you guys. This won't be on a long stream today. This will be a short one. And certainly on YouTube, you guys don't expect long drawn-out streams either. But let me just go take a look here. On this page, this SimVenture page, which is the event that PilotEdge puts on usually 2 weeks before the real event, the one you go to for real. And so here you get an idea what it looks like. There's a YouTube video on it, and you can certainly look that up. So it's a virtual Oshkosh with the actual Osh air traffic controller. It says right there, all right? And this is a way to practice flying into AirVenture. You rock your wings, you make your way over to FISK, or you land on a colored dot, as they say, all right? Now, before you start, let me just get you started. If any of you want to try this, all right? You first of all want to download the software so that everything's accurate, but it's also for the visually pleasing effect. As you come into land, you'll be focused on your dot. You'll try to land on or after the dot. Then you'll be focused on the flagman. But at some point, probably when you park your plane, take your drone camera up and go take a look at the scenery. It's unbelievable. It's like you're really there. And it's pretty awesome. So the first thing you'd want to do is download the appropriate software, whether it be for MSFS 2020 or 2024, which is the two I've been using forever. The very first time I did AirVenture, I did it with X-Plane, so I download their scenery. You could also have Prepare 3D or FSX, which are similar bases. Prepare 3D is what the Redbird simulators are using over at the EAA headquarters. And I showed that to you at the start of the stream here. They can participate right there at the EAA headquarters at Oshkosh. They can, and there's something like 20 of those simulators in their building at the bottom floor over here at the Pioneer Airstrip. Let me just show you that, you guys, just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. The year I was there, I did a whole press piece on them, and I videoed and took pictures and all the rest. So here is the EAA headquarters. This is on the grounds of the airport, but it's over here on this grass strip called Pioneer Field. All right, and this was around many years ago, and this is all scenery that PilotEdge added in here also. It says right there, Pioneer Airport. All right, now we're not going to use that unless you are in helicopters. This is now, for this event, it's a helicopter landing area, and it's where all the tourist helicopters will fly out of. Now, you will see some helicopters in the air when we approach this place, but they're staying over here to the east and coming in from the east and staying away from the main runways. There's a lot of action over there. They have some PilotEdge employees flying these during the event that I'm about to go into live, and you'll see them coming in and out. They seem like they're AI, but they're not. They're actually, controllers are in those also. Hi guys, those of you who have joined us in both chats here. I see, is that you, Phlox? I see you. And good to see you, man. Come fly with us. And over here, I'm looking at 234 Cheech. How you doing? How's it going, right? And you're in Canada? Oh, nice. I'm in Canada too. And way cool. No, it doesn't mean you're in Canada. Oh, you're saying, is this in Canada? No, this is Wisconsin, you guys. This is Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Now, I was starting to tell you about over here. This is the EA headquarters. Huge, huge. Inside is a huge museum also, if you ever want to get here. I spent a lot of time in here because it was super hot the year I was here. And I didn't want to step outside. I was sleeping in a tent too. One of those nights, it was a thunderstorm. But anyway, this is the EA headquarters, you guys. And in here, they have, I'm trying to think of the number. It's something like 20, all in cubicles, Redbird simulators. And while you're here at this event for real, you can go into the EA headquarters on this ground floor and hook up with a CFI. And the CFIs here are all voluntary all week, and they're going to help you in the simulator do whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is, whether it be your PPL you're working towards, or whether it be IFR rating or something like that. They'll CFIs will help you with it, which is a really cool voluntary thing that they do. It's kind of cool. And that's Redbird, and Redbird's known for serious simulators that you can actually flight. You can log your flight hours in it. As you can see, lots of cars will come. For those of you who know my channel, Ace of Spades is a co-host and moderator here on the channel. He lives in Wisconsin. While I was here covering the Redbird stuff for EAA, he drove up from where he lives in Racine, which is a few hours south here. He drove up just for lunch so that he could hang out with me for lunch. It was pretty cool. And I got to finally see my co-host live and in person, right? And same thing with 2 years ago at FS Expo. Andrew, my co-host, and I finally met. So, you know, it's funny, we all meet online and we work online, but it's such a thrill to be able to see each other live. Look at this, tents galore, booths galore. This thing's going to get busy because we're going to put on the live scenery. All right, so let me just come back to my plane for a second. I'm going to be coming out of the sim and putting my plane where I'm going to start. Let's get going on how to make this all happen, you guys. You got a good feel for it already from what I've been showing you. So the first thing I was showing you was the client that we would use. Let me just come over here. The second thing you got to do is download the Notice to Airmen. This is a PDF. It's free. You can download it, but you'd have to have an account first. I'm just trying to find the web page I had up right here. You'd have to get an account first, and then you can have the scenery, and then you can have the NOTAM. And you guys, this is a free 24-hour if you want to try it. All right, you don't have to keep it. It's not going to keep billing you. And the whole idea is that you get a feel for what it's like to use real controllers. After Oshkosh is over, after today, these controllers will be working the real event. They're normal controllers. They're paid professional controllers that PilotEdge uses. Stay back now on the West Coast and into Central, they're expanding, right? So you would still be able to see those guys anytime using the PilotEdge client anytime. I honestly think that I've got the $15 a month, and I just activated it for 1 month so that I could do this today. and so this weekend. So that's what I've got it for. But you guys can certainly do whatever works for you too. Let me just go and talk about. I'm not going to go through all these things. You can look at all this stuff. The Pilot Center has lots of resources in there, and they got all kinds of certifications and CAT ratings and expectations, and download the software and everything you need. Once you've signed up, you'll go in here and you'll download your software and get it going. So that's the next step, you guys, is I'm going to download the software and get it going. So I'm just going to run my PilotEdge client, and it will come up on a web browser, and I'll also be able to see it on my taskbar. All right. So that's the second step. So you notice there's a few steps here. If you wanted to do this today, you should be doing it right now while I'm talking about it, because by the time you get your scenery installed and configure your client and then get flying the FISK approach, you might even have to review the manual on how to do this. You're going to see me do it, and you can learn from that, but you also want to be prepared for whatever could happen. So we typically read this manual weeks ahead. A lot of us know it every year, and we just see what's new. If you're new to this, you should be reading the whole thing. It's going to tell you every approach runway, depending on the winds. It's going to tell you how to take off out of the place properly. It's going to tell you how to approach if you're a warbird, how to approach if you are a seaplane, over to the seaplane base. And it's also going to tell you about helicopters, approaches and departures. So it's all that inside the NOTAM. It's huge. There's a lot in there. Mike Patey's turbulence is in the EA Museum now. What? I didn't know that. It wasn't there when I was there. Mike says, I'm not comfortable doing this yet, but will next year. And that's it, you guys. You're talking to real controllers, and they're telling you to do something, and you're just going to do it. You don't have to say anything, Mike. But what if they tell you something else? Like hold at Green Lake. They're not going to say how. They're not going to say what altitude. They're not going to say what speed. It's all in the NOTAM. They're going to say hold at Green Lake. It's a counterclockwise hold around Green Lake at the right altitude, the right speed, and then rejoin again. They might do the same thing up at there's another lake closer to FISK. So once they start doing something out of the ordinary because of congestion, now I have to speak on the mic. At the very least, you just have to confirm what they're asking, right? So that's part of it, you guys. The minute we have to push the mic button, it's scary for a lot of people. So for that reason, I'll also tell you guys, I work heavily with Say Intentions, and working with them and their wonderful product I've seen grow up so fast over the years. They're so innovative. And I say over the years, it seems like years. I think it's probably been a year and a half. Say Intentions is just on top of it, and they're making things happen. IFR end-to-end, VFR end-to-end, and we're working on lessons and all the rest of it. I mean, it's just amazing. But to this day, they probably are working on the approach to FISK, but this is PilotEdge's baby that they've been doing for years now. And I don't know how many years. I started doing this with X-Plane. So this is what they've been doing. PilotEdge has been doing this all along. But if you have mic fright, if this is new to you and this is intimidating, start out with an ATC AI so that you're not speaking to real people. And I highly recommend, I've looked at all of them, I highly recommend Say Intentions, you guys, because I just see the innovation, and I see all the extra stuff that it does other than normal flights. So anyway, that's just my plug there for that. And that would be great for beginners also who are afraid to speak on the mic. Most student pilots in real life are afraid to speak on the mic too. All right, this thing's already rolling, so we're going to get going with it. So in my case, I've downloaded the client, I've downloaded the scenery, I've installed the scenery, I start the sim, and now I've got to go and configure the client. All right, now the first thing that it did was it gave me this web page right here. As soon as I ran the client, it gives me this web page. I got to file a flight plan, which isn't hard to do, and then I've got to connect. All right, so before I do that, I want to go look at the client. Bear with me. I don't have an exact plan here. There's no slide deck. There's no official curriculum steps here, but I'm just going to show you the steps as we go through. Here's the PilotEdge client on my taskbar. Should be able to see that in the bottom right corner. And from there, I'm just going to go to settings. The web interface is already running. I'm going to come back to that. Here I am in settings. I can't make that any bigger. So we just have to leave it like that. And in here, you just walk through it. Now, it's a good thing it's got my password in asterisk, because I forgot that would be in there. And, you just go down the steps and you just set it up. So audio, I'm using my microphone here, which is a USB on my headset. I got to speak to them at some point, or if I'm away from Oshkosh, I've got to speak to the CTAF traffic or something like that. My headset device, it actually is my headset, but it's connected to my mixer here. So that's the one I'm using. Here's the important part. Well, that's important, but here's the second important part. You've got to set a button for push to talk. At some point, whether you're talking to a CTAF channel or even another airport that has a controller, you got to talk. All right. Here, they might ask you a question. You've got to be able to say something, even if it's yes or no. All right. So all you do is you click this button and then you just click on somewhere. I'm using the left white button on my yoke, on my honeycomb yoke, the one that would normally be your mic button in a real plane. That left hand trigger finger is the real mic button on a real plane. So I like to keep it as realistic as possible. It's button number 1 on the Alpha. Now, the model matching part, if you're using MSFS 2020, you've got to pick the Skyhawk G1000 Asobo for model matching reasons. They have to be able to see you and know what you are. They're going to say Cessna. They're going to say yellow Cessna, in my case. Rock your wings. They're not going to say Howard. They're not going to say November 67991. But they might if they have to. But the point is that you've got to pick the right model matching. If you're in 2024, like I am today, you got to pick the Asobo Passive Aircraft C402, believe it or not. That's all in the NOTAM. I'm just making it easier for you today, all right? So there, I've got those set up. The rest of it, I'm not worried about at the moment. I'm just going to say, okay. Now, I'm ready to get going. I'm going to hit my flight plan. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to do your flight plan. You got to know where you intend to go, all right? And now, it's not that hard. It is the format of a real flight plan, you guys, but it isn't that hard, especially if you've already done it. And you notice in here, it gives you a hint. It's looking for an aircraft identification. It's looking for a November number. You can invent one. This is in a sim, you guys, as long as it doesn't clash with some other one that's already flying in the same airspace. So I have my November 67991, which is fashioned after a real 152 out of Canada, which was registered in the US at a flight school. So I like that because I was working with Jane on the Microsoft official channel, and we had to have a 152 on PilotEdge back in the day. That's where it came from, and it stuck with me ever since. I'm flying VFR, not IFR. I'm flying a 172. Make life easier. I also have the G1000 for switching frequencies and all the rest. My equipment code, don't worry about that, but you could read it. I'm going to tell you, just pick A for now. That gives you a DME, a transponder mode C, and that's all you need really is that transponder mode C. You don't really need the DME. One aircraft, it's not a heavy, okay, we don't worry about the rest, but here's the important stuff here. What color is your plane? Now take a look at it in the sim. You could tell it anything you want. This is what they're going to say to you. If I pick brown right now, even though I'm a yellow Cessna, if I pick brown, they're going to say, brown Cessna, rock your wings. That's what they see. They're seeing it because I put it in here. All right. So I'm going to go pick yellow because that really is my livery. All right. Secondary color, if you've got a combination of two, you know, yellow with green stripes, I'll put a green in here. True airspeed, well, you just have to know about your own plane. A Cessna can't go, a 172 can't go much higher than 120. I'm starting out at C47. You could do the same. It's a small municipal airport heading towards the proper entrance. That's what I'm using. The arrival location is going to be Oshkosh, and my cruising altitude is going to be specifically 1800. That's important, you guys. This is a VFR flight. You have to be at 1800 along the FISK approach and 90 knots. So I want to make sure you understand that. Alternate airport, wherever that is, I'll go there. And and there's my route. Any remarks in here? Don't need it. There's my certificate. It's not custom weather. I'm using the weather prescribed by the NOTAM, and that is clear skies. All right. And it's not a rating flight, so I'm good. So really what they're looking for is your N number, what kind of plane you are, and the color is the most important parts about your identification. And then here they just need to know about this airplane. They could probably look up a 172, and many of them would already have memorized, the same as me, this kind of stuff. But they can see now that I'm going to be starting at C47, and I'm going to be arriving at Oshkosh. So they can see that already. That'll be on the radar for those live controllers. All right, I'm going to file that flight plan. Take a screen snap of that if you wish, you guys. Matter of fact, I can do that right now. Maybe that'll come out all right if you guys need to reference that again. Once that's filed, it tells you up here, it says you have successfully filed. Ensure to connect to the network using the call sign November 67991. So that's my call sign. All right. So that means when I come back here now, I'm just leaving these two open. See, I come back to this guy now. I can now say connect. I've already filed my flight plan. All right. So there's our second step now. I'm in the live client now. It opened the screen up for me. I'm going to say connect, and look what it's looking for. There's my call sign. Yep, that's right. There's the ICAO code for this plane, Cessna 172, no airline code, and I'm yellow. If everything is in order, if my flight plan has been filed, this should work. I'm going to say connect, and it's telling me what's happening. It's logging into the network, should give me a successful. It says connected to the network, logged into the network. I'm good. I'm in. I'm now in the PilotEdge client. All right, that's how it works. You know, Heisenberg, I should do that because I usually thank them verbally over the radio, but that's a great idea. Put that right into the remarks. That is a great idea. Hey, Maddie Lynn, how's it going? How you doing? Iowa Scotsman's here also. How's it going? And Super Ty's gonna, yep, I got your note there. Yeah, thank you for that. That's great. All right, let's go. All right, so that's a lot of stuff to get ready, you guys, but just remember what we just finished doing. We went to the PilotEdge website. We registered an account. If you don't have one, get the 24-hour free, just so you're not obligated. Then download two things. You got to download the scenery for the sim that you're using, and then you got to download the NOTAM because you really have to reference that as you go along. It's got all the frequencies and everything. I'm going to show you my experience right now, but they're going to send me off on one track or the other, and it'll be a specific tower frequency. All right, you'd have to know what that other frequency is, and they'll probably remind you along the way too, right? You thoroughly enjoyed yesterday's virtual air show where I could actually see the action. Hey, that's cool, Maddie. That was neat. I thought they were too far away from the planes a lot of times, you know, but you know, I can't fault them. There was some great camera coverage on that air show. It was really good, Maddie. So we did the very first air show on Flight Simulator way back years ago, but they got some really good camera coverage, and you can tell that they've got all the graphics are there. The announcer was there, even though he stumbled a few times, but that was a lot of fun. And you know, that's the thing. I think they only do that once a year, so that's too bad. And they do it in X-Plane. Anyway, we're talking about this, you guys, right now, the PilotEdge stuff. So that all of that is done. My client's ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. What I'm going to do is take a look at this. Hold on, let me just get my plane in the right place. I could take off from here, but then now you got to wait till I go all the way down, around, and back onto the FISK approach. So I'm not going to take off from here. My flight plan says I'm starting. There's somebody right there. That's a PilotEdge client right there coming in. We'll see that soon enough. Anyway, yeah, let me just end the flight and come around. So I'm going to start at C47, which is Portage Municipal, not far away from Oshkosh. We're starting from a municipal airport. I'll just do standard CTAF calls. We're going to be heading up along Green Lake right here, up here to FISK, and then over to the airport, which is right here. And we'll show you more of that. We'll give you more maps and stuff as we go along. I'm going to start on the tarmac, not running. So I could start on the runway, but probably use 36. So I'll probably want to have maybe this guy here. I'll start there, and I'll do a quick startup, you guys. No worries. All right, now my arrival is going to be Oshkosh, so we'll just put that in here. And I don't know which runway yet. All right, they're saying 27. We'll leave it at that. And that's just, you don't even have to put that in at this point because we're going to actually put in the flight plan right in the airplane. And we're going to be following VFR along a railroad track, so you can't really put that in as a flight plan. But that's, at least we got our start and our destination. I'm on, my flight conditions are clear skies, and it's whatever time of day it is here. Start the flight, and away we go. So the VFR pilot, you depart C47 too. There's times I've been there, there's like 10 of us trying to get on the runway. And I started this before there was any traffic on that airport, many years ago in X-Plane. So here I am, and because we have the PilotEdge client running, we'll just see as soon as I say ready to fly here, you'll see a few more planes pop in. Plus I have the SI, I have the Say Intentions traffic injection going here too. So, oh my gosh, I got to go through the whole walk around. Son of a gun. Let me just get away from this thing. Like maybe like this. W. Nope, don't want to go in. Wow, 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 wow. Hold on, I'm trying to use my keyboard sideways. There we go. I was stuck against the wing, I guess. Yeah, okay. Let me just do this real quick, you guys. I forgot about this. It's going to be kind of rough because I'm just going to move around as fast as I can here. This is not the focus of our session today. But anyway, I'm going to just take these things off because you have to. Engine cover, torpedo tube, and chocks, and get in the darn thing. There we go. And this is my livery That was made for me by my website manager. That's pretty cool. That is so nice of them. All right, I'm going to go back inside now, and I'm going to get this thing rolling. Mixture's full. There we go. Let me just check my fuel. I'll do a quick checklist, you guys. I'm very familiar with this airplane because I fly them in real life. I'm going to crack the throttle to 1/4 inch like that. Get rid of it. Normally you can just look around it, but today we can't. And you'll notice that if you're familiar with this plane already, then you'll notice some of the things that I'm doing are pretty easy. Here, the parking brake is on. That's important. My trim wheel should be set for takeoff. I'm leaving the pop-ups out because in my lessons, which I'm doing on Tuesday, in my lessons, you want to be able to do the pop-up to learn about the different tools. This is now set for takeoff. Fuel pump on. Everything else is ready to roll. I'm going to give it the power switch like that. And I'm going to wait till that comes up because I want to see the engine as I start it. I'm going to reach down to the keys now that I see my engine instruments on my primary flight display, and I'm just going to start this baby up. Prop clear. Looking good. Bring it up to 1,000 for now. Let the battery keep charging. Somewhere around there. Sounding good. And my fuel pump can now come off. I could have turned up the volume. You could actually hear the fuel pump, but we're not here for a lesson on this. I'm also going to take a look at my voltage and see that it's going to change now that I put on the alternator. Beautiful. And I've got my full 24 volts. Beautiful. Now I'm going to turn on my avionics. And that should, oops. That should give me my screen over here. And I'm going to actually pop these screens out and put them on my real sim gear, you guys. I'm very spoiled. I have this external screens in front of my face and all the knobs and switches. So what you see here is physical in front of me, and I can manage all of this just in front of me. So that's the way I'll put all the frequencies in. All right, I'll come back to here for a second. Get rid of the taxi ribbon. And I'm not going to be using, I'm not going to do the run up here, you guys, because I'm trying to do this like within the hour and a half. Instead of a 2, 3, 4 hour stream. So I'm going to cut out a few things, and the run up is one of them. All right, so this is what we see in front of us. The next thing I want to do is set frequencies. All right, so the first thing is the C47 portage frequency. It's a CTAF and it's 122.7. So what I'm going to do is just go like this. Managing frequencies is an important part. I would use these to do it, but I'm very lucky I have the hardware to do it. So I'm just going to set this COM1 frequency for the moment at 122.7. 1, 2, 2, like that. And then you can hear me spinning it. That should be 7. Yep, 1227. Flip flop it over. And I'm now on the CTAF frequency. I'm going to announce my intentions. There's no tower at this airport. Anyone else that's on this frequency would hear me on the PilotEdge network, right? That's what's happening right now. All right, you'll notice that my magenta line is pointing somewhere. Is it actually got it in? Yep. And I've got my navigation display set for heads-up travel, just like you would in a car. Your GPS always shows you where you're headed. And we were taught this in flight school from day one, although some people still have a preference of north up. In this way, I always see what's coming up. And same with when I look at my map, I see there's a lake up ahead. Here comes the lake. So I always use this method. Some people still like the north up method, whatever works. All right, we're ready to roll. I'm still going to do VFR once I get there. So really my call here when I call CTAF will be that I'm heading to VFR east to Oshkosh is really what I'm doing. So people know, all right? That's what I'm going to make that. Flox is in the house. Can I fly a third-party aircraft like the Just Flight Turbo Aero 3 on PilotEdge? I would guess if you can find the ICAO code for it, why not? I'm not sure if they would see it, but that's a very common plane. I know that's your favorite plane, Flox. I would say try it anyway. Lots of low-wing planes are here. If nothing else, it would show up as a bonanza for them. But in your flight plan, you would say what it is and the color, and they would just say, they probably say arrow, yellow arrow, you know, roll your wings or something, right? Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, go to PilotEdge and just see. I would say in the client, just put it in, see what happens, right? They do have a list somewhere. PilotEdge has a list of, here's all the ICAO codes of all the different planes that we'll recognize. So that's not what I'm here for, you guys. I'm not here as a spokesperson for PilotEdge, although I do know Keith, and I've asked him for special permission when I'm teaching students. But I'm not here to know all the details of this thing. All right, 122.7. Now, once I get into the air, eventually I'm going to be able to come in range of the ATIS for the FISK approach. All right, I have all those frequencies here. I have them written down on my knee pad here. The FISK approach is 1207. But what I really want is the ATIS 1259. So I'm going to put that in right now, just to show you guys what that looks like. And I'm going to use my COM 2 for that. So I'm just going to push the COM button to flip down to COM 2, like that. And now from here, it was 1259, I said. 125. Hey, we're pretty close. 1259. Now, I won't get it yet, but I am going to set it. 1259. All right, and you notice my backup frequency is the guard frequency 1215, and that's what I do on COM2 all the time anyway. All right, so I've got the CTAF of the airport I'm at. 18.5 is actually one of the towers, but I'm not going to be doing tower first. I'm going to be doing, and this is important, you guys, in real life. You got to set up your frequencies while you're on the ground. You could do this in the air, but I want to do FISK approach 1207. Again, this is all in the manual, but I'm doing a condensed version of it here. 120. Look at that top number, 7, right there. That looks good. That's what I'll be using once I'm clear of this control zone. All right, there we go. So 1227 is the CTAF, the common advisory frequency for this airport because there's no tower. Once I'm clear of the zone, I'll tell them I'm cleared to the east. Then I'm going to switch over to the FISK approach frequency, just with a flip-flop. And then I'll be on FISK approach right up until they tell me where I'm supposed to go. So that's what I'm going to be doing there. In the meantime, as soon as this comes into range, the ATIS is at the Osh airport, which is miles away right now. As soon as this comes into range, it'll actually pop up and I'll start hearing it. Okay, now that's pretty cool, right? Hey Jeff, how you doing, man? You jumped in. Be prepared. Stay ahead of the airplane. Yeah, that's it. Stay ahead of the airplane. Yeah. Okay, so my altitude here, 820. My circuit height is 1800. I want to be above that and clear the zone to the east, about 5 miles. That's just giving you an idea what's happening. I'm taking a look at my transponder here. I don't see anything happening there. Part of my normal checks on my checklist would be to set the transponder. I'm going to use this button right here, and I'm going to pick Alt, because I'm ready to go, Alt 1200, which means altitude reporting, and I'm on 1200, which is North American VFR. All right, just so you guys know what that is. Some of you are tuned in from a different continent, but you probably know that VFR here in North America is 1200. All right, I'm going to move my keyboard over so I can put my feet on the pedals and I can start steering this thing. Let's get in the air and rock and roll. I'm all set to go. Anything I've forgotten, you guys? Anything? Anything at all? Huh? You guys will find something, right? What did you miss, Howard? Beacon's on, nav's on, strobe's on, and I'm going to use my taxi light just to move around. Yeah. Srap's late. Don't be sorry. It's so nice that you show up, Srap. You guys say hi to Srap if you haven't seen him or heard of him before. He's one of our value moderators here on the channel on Twitch, and he helps out a lot. All right, time to roll. I haven't been watching the chat in on YouTube, you guys. I can't watch all the screens. I've got 9 of them in front of me as it is, so I just want to, if there's something in chat there, Mike or Srap will tell me to pay attention, or repeat it in Twitch, because that chat window's right near my camera. All right, just want to test the brakes. Yep, the brakes work. All right, let me do a call here to the common frequency here at Portage. Portage traffic, this is Fox Lima Tango Fox Yellow Cessna Skyhawk. I'm departing runway 36 for a VFR to Oshkosh to the east. Portage traffic. Yeah, I have to finish it with the word Portage traffic, you guys. So anyway, that's on the PilotEdge network, and I better look at the client to make sure that that's actually working. Come back over to here. You don't know I didn't do a radio check, you guys. All right, let me just go over and do a radio check. All right, this is something I should have shown you already, right? Yeah, it's disconnected. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't hear anything at all on there. So I guess when I got out of the sim and back in, it disconnected me. Look at this. I'm going to reconnect. I should have done a radio check, you guys. All right, logged into the network. All right. Somebody's nearby, probably trying to get by, and I'm going to be doing a radio check. That guy to the right of me here. Oh, nice. All right, let me do a radio check. Now, to do a radio check, you guys, after I finish setting up all the radios, what we simply do there, I want to show it to you because it's important. Here I was doing a call on the frequency, and I wasn't even on the network. So, right here, I know, really, eh? Right, Srap? He was valued until he was late. Yeah, that's right. He's so mean. You're so mean. So the way to do a radio check here with PilotEdge, you guys, is simply you're going to broadcast on COM 1, and you're going to hear it come back to you on COM 2, because you're tuned into COM 2. So make sure, now if you can't do it with COM 1 and 2, load an airplane that can do the radio check. That means your headset's working. Then load the airplane that you want that only has a COM 1. In this case here, I'm broadcasting, if you can see that. I'm broadcasting on COM 1. That says mic, and the light's on. And I'm receiving on COM 1. So that's what this means. Now I'm also receiving on COM 2. And that way I can use both radios. All right. Now I'm going to switch my frequencies to make sure both of them say, now I want to save this 1227. Let me just do some magic here. I'm going to save that one. And 1227. The ones I want to save, I'm going to leave over there. I'm going to make this 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 3 there. And bring this back to 4. I'm trying to do it with my mouse, but let me just do it. I can just spin it here real easy. So I call it the 5-finger. Well, everybody calls it the 5-finger frequency, you guys. And what that is if you never remember to use this frequency for testing, remember the 5 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so it's not a 5-finger, it's a 4-finger. In X-Plane, we used to use 5-finger. Okay, then. Sure, Howard. It's the 4-finger frequency. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then do the same on COM 2. So I'm going to move it over to COM 2 like this. Click, and then I'm going to change this to the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3. There's a bit of a delay or a fade or something there. 4, 5. All right, change this to a 5. 4, 5. You can do it. Wow, there's a delay there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this is how you test, you guys. Now, both of them are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, they're not. Mamma mia. This is live.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, someone's checking too. Hold on. So I'm hearing someone else, but I'm not set for 4, 5. I'm set for 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember I said 5-finger? Yeah, it really is 5-finger, yeah. You should trust my instinct. 4.
1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2.
4, 5. There. Now I'm hearing them because I was already tuned to receive them. So now let me do a quick check here.
Radio check on 5-finger.
Loud. And it's not going to come back to me because it already came back. Let's see if I can do that again without blowing my ears apart here. Radio check on 5-finger frequency. Once it's in your ear, you can't even speak. There, and someone replied with 5 by 5, so thanks for that. And so, you know, that was pretty loud. I'm going to turn it down even more here. I've got another volume control here.
Check on 5-finger.
That sounds like Phlox. Is that you, Phlox? I recognize that voice. That's Phloxtrot, you guys. You can't mistake them. You know what I mean? I got to turn that down a little. That's really loud. Over here. Probably this guy here. Phlox, do another radio check. Give it 4 seconds before he catches up to it. I want to check the volume.
Radio check for Howard. Radio check for Howard.
5 by 5, Phlox. All right. And if you don't want that echo, you guys, because I know my radio already works, then change your reply frequency here. I'll just take it back like that.
East Acorn will be taxiing to runway 36 for north our departure. Voltage.
What was it? 1207. All right. So sorry, guys, for the delay, but let's get going. I want to put in Portage was 122.7. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, so that was somebody who was already on it. 122.7. I want to have this one on ATIS right here. There. Now back the way I was. Portage, CTAF, and ATIS when I get out there. And then I'll put in the 1207 for the approach once I get there. So that's good, you guys. And that is important. I know it's monotonous. It's crazy.
Portage traffic. I see a lot of airplanes here. Nobody's talking. Do you guys using any phone? Portage traffic. Archer Arrow 2817 Delta taking off on 36 going north. Portage.
Isn't that 36, Fox? I've got to wait for wake turbulence, you guys. But there's Phlox right there. He's already going. He just started up and took off. You know what I mean? There's a pro. I'm gonna wait one more minute. That's funny. Someone's behind me, or is that you, Flox? Look at, there's 3 of us. Okay. Portage traffic. This is Fox Lima Tango Fox Yellow Cessna taking off runway 36 for Osh. And you normally would say Portage at the end, you guys. I just let go of my mic. Thanks. That's over the radio frequency, you guys. Have fun. You don't need any flaps here. Long enough runway. We don't need to do a short field takeoff. And we're looking for 55 on the airspeed indicator right there. Needles are alive. 55, and up we go. Gear is fixed. Stay on the runway center line.
Portage traffic, Cessna Golf Delta Romeo Zulu, taking off runway 36 out to Oshkosh. Portage traffic.
Have fun. I had to do it.
Thanks.
Had to do it, you guys. We're on a frequency where there's no controllers to give us grief, right? All right, there's 500 feet above the ground. Okay, I can turn. I'm going to head toward Osh, which is this direction, and so is everybody else behind me. But there was like 2 twins behind me, and I think Flox is ahead of me, and, you know, he's in a twin also. So it's like, ooh, you know, it's going to be tough. Now, you can use autopilot, of course, right? And we're going no higher than 1800. I better set that right now. 1800. I'm going to set my heading bug, FLC, and away we go. I could leave it like that. It's supposed to be on heading bug. Yep. Let's just take it around. There we go. All lined up, waiting to take off. Oh, I thought that was you that jumped in front of me there. Someone just, you know, in a twin just jumped in front, and he had a deep voice like yours, Flox.
Portage traffic, Twinta, November 1 Victor Kilo, taking runway 36 over to Washington now, going to the Osh.
Yeah. Have fun. Oh, I didn't press the mic that time. You wouldn't normally talk like that. I should use an example, you guys. So I didn't press the mic that time. And, you know, on the PilotEdge network, when it's quiet, you can add extra things on the radio. But when you get closer to Osh, they don't want any. Guess what? I'm picking up ATIS already. Let's just take that off for the moment. That's ATIS, and it's actually very crackly. Better pull my power back here. I'm going to stay at normal cruising speed of 120 for now until I get closer to where I'm supposed to be, you guys. And then we'll work on it from there.
Testing.
I'm going to stay on the frequency till I'm 5 miles out. Should be somewhere around here anyway. Give you guys an idea where I am, see? So I took off from Portage like a lot of us do. There's the guy that took off behind me. There's another one. Fox is still here. He's going to be taking off. So I'm going to be heading down, as you can see, the same sort of route that I've taken before here. And I'm clear of the zone now, so I'm just going to call CTAF and let them know. Portage traffic, Fox Lima Tango Fox has cleared the zone to the east. And that just means I'm changing frequency also. You don't need permission when there's no controller.
Portage traffic, November. Radio check. Portage traffic, November, Victor Kilo, turning right, crossing runway 36 for the eastbound departure. Portage.
And that radio check person sounded good. All right, I'm on the right track. That's where I want to be. I'm changing over to 1207.
Radio check. There it is.
5 by 5. All right, changing over to 1207. Like that. Swap it over, and now I'm on the FISK approach. Even though I'm way out.
Cessna, runway 27, straight up rail tracks, runway 27. Maintain 1,800 until downwind, and keep your downwind inside the ground bit. You can monitor tower 118.5. Welcome, Oshkosh.
Now, all of that does mean something, you guys, and I'll explain it as we go along, but that's a person who's just turning to the downwind for 27. So that's way over at the airport. We'll talk about it as we go along, because we got a bit of distance here, and I'm gonna get into the NOTAM and show you just a couple of things so that we know what we're doing. Now I used my heading bug to get this far. Now I'm going to use nav.
Your next one, red and white Cessna, about a mile southwest of 5th. Rocket wings, form, please.
So you hear him say, rock your wings? Get used to that phraseology. And sometimes you could just go into...
Red and white Cessna, about a half mile southwest of 5th. Go ahead and start a right turn for me, please, eastbound. Right turn for runway 36 for the red and white Cessna. I didn't see a rock, but go ahead and start a... I see you turning now, thanks. Just join or follow FISK Avenue at 1,800 until the 4-lane highway. Once you cross that, they'll pick you up by time color there. You can monitor tower on 126.6. Welcome, Oshkosh.
So he's...
A long easy, looks like your next one. Long easy mile southwest.
Won't be able to talk much. It looks like we're busy. Now, if you go to PilotEdge, you can see everybody on the map.
Runway 27 for you today. Runway 27. Straight up the railroad tracks, runway 27. Maintain 1,800 top downwind, and they keep it inside the gravel pit. Monitor tower now on 118.5. Welcome, Oshkosh.
He had to think about it. 118.5. All right, so I'm going to come over here.
We are landing runway 27, runway 36 today, page 20 and 22 of the notice. They are departing runway 27, so if you're going to 27, just make sure you maintain that 1,800 until the downwind. They're going to be departing below you at 1,300. They will pick you up by time to come in the immediate vicinity of FISK. Just make sure you're following the rail tracks, at least a half mile in trail of the person that you're following. If you can't maintain that half mile, just break it out and return to the start and find somebody you can follow. Pick you up by type and color in the immediate vicinity of FISK. You need just 1,890 knots, and if you can't do that, maintain 2,300, 135 knots.
So all of that is in the NOTAM. He's just reminding people as we go along, you guys. But here's what's happening. This is the live map of all of us at the FISK approach. Look at us all. All of these are PilotEdge pilots. These are all people who have the client, just like I explained. They're all here also, and you can tell where they're going. This is Fond du Lac, which is a backup airport if they have mud or snow, mud or rain.
You guys are perfectly spaced. This is exactly what we're looking for. White Diamond. Looks like a White Diamond is the first one. Rocket wings from please, a mile southwest 5th for White Diamond.
He's talking about these guys right here. All of these guys coming up the...
You guys rock, make sure it's a good wing rock. A White Diamond, give me a good wing rock, and we're going to go on runway 36 for the White Diamond today. We'll go and start a right turn for please, eastbound for the White Diamond. Right turn eastbound, pick up FISK Avenue, and set you up for left base runway 36.
That's the DA-40.
Half mile southwest to FISK. Rock wings for please.
Now this guy here, rock his wings. The 172.
White and blue Cessna, just over FISK now. Rock your wings for please.
This guy here.
And the White Diamond 5 Alpha Pop, are you on the frequency?
He's just wondering if he's on the frequency. I see there's the trouble. If he's not on the frequency...
White and blue Cessna, I didn't see it. Rock, go ahead and start a right turn for him, please. That Diamond looks like they're going to 27. White and blue Cessna, start a right turn eastbound, turn right now.
Wants him to go there.
Runway 27. White,
so
long,
come back to this. Hold on.
Rock your wings for him, please.
Make sure my position, make sure I'm not in the area.
White and blue Cessna, thanks. I do see you turning, and just continue that turn about 100 degrees, and you'll pick up FISK Avenue. Use that for left base for 36. Monitor tower on 126.6. Welcome to Oshkosh. Check that. Long easy. Thanks for that, Rock. Just continue through other tracks for runway 27. Runway 27 for you. Everybody going to 27. Maintain 1,800 until the downwind, and keep the downwind inside the ground. Long easy.
So now,
monitor tower now 118.5.
I'm just going to take him off the frequency for now. I'm back on the CTAF for Portage, but for now I'm just keeping it quiet because I don't need it. I do need it for sure when I get to here. Right now our insertion point is Green Lake, right around here, the south end of the lake. This is Green Lake. He's already sent 2 people over on a hold. You see that? It's getting congested. These people are on a hold. And or else they're just coming in this way. We're going to converge here. You can see different ones converging. And from Green Lake on, we want to be single file, half mile apart, 1,800 feet, 90 knots. That's the rules. And so by the time we get to Ripon, we've got to be in line like this. This is good, looking really good what these guys are doing. These 2 here, that's a problem, right? They're both 1,800 feet and they're almost touching, you know, so that's not good. But this is the idea of what's going on, you guys. Now, once we go over Ripon, we should be in line and good. And here's where the guy is that's talking right now, right here. I'll put him back on again now.
Rock for the Blue Piper. Runway 36, just continue up the railroad tracks for now. I'll give you a turn here in just a little bit.
So he's actually telling them whether to go down FISK Avenue here, or he's telling them to continue on the railroad track up towards runway 27 or whatever they're going to use here. All right. And so this is the decision point where they tell us which way we're going. And they also tell us the frequency. They'll probably remind us of the frequency for the tower. And then we'll have to get our assignment here and we'll be told which colored dot to land on. All right. So we'll see all of that in action. whatever one we do, I've done both many times over the years, so we'll be able to handle that no problem. So here we are back here, Puckaway Lake sort of thing. When this gets super busy, they even tell people to start inserting themselves back here. That's how long it can get, you guys. But right now we're still inserting at Green Lake. And I'm coming up on Green Lake, and I better slow it down because right now I'm going 122 knots, but I am at the right altitude. So I'll start paying attention to flying now, and then I'll be on the lookout for my name as I get closer. All right, so I'm just going to pull back some power now. And Flox, I don't know if you're still on the Twitch network here, but you in the air, you're okay? I didn't hear you on the frequency, but I was off the frequency for a while. I'm just pulling back power until I get somewhere around 90 knots, you guys. It's really nice when you're on autopilot. Right now it's keeping me at 1,800 feet. Let me just show you what that looks like. So I've got it set for 1,800. It's keeping me at 1,800. So all I got to do is manage throttle. It's the easier way to do things. I've got my transponder is set. I'm creeping up on, or creeping down to 90 knots. That's still a bit high. I'm going to pull it back to about 2,100 RPM. And we'll just see how that looks. I've flown many different planes up till today. So even today I was flying the Starship, which is the lesson on Tuesday. So I'm used to a very fast and powerful airplane. And here I am back in my old familiar 172. So I've got to manage it somehow. All right. So I think somewhere around 2130 RPM, if I remember this plane. Should take me down to 90 knots by the time I get to Green Lake. So I'm creeping up on it. You can see I'm at 94, still acceptable, 1,800 feet, looking good. All right, so I'm on the right track. I'm heading in the right direction. And you can look on here. I will have to pick up a railroad track once I get to Ripon. So Ripon is right here. I could even put that in as a waypoint. And once I get to Ripon, that's it. You got to stay on the railroad track visually. Here's Green Lake. There's the south end part of it that's kind of swampy. And that's where we are. I'm just going to look for other traffic here. And at this point in real life, you would not be messing around with maps and screens. You would be looking out the window at everything all around you. I'm actually surprised. Looked like I had other people around me. Let me just go to here and find out where I am. So I am below. There's Ripon. I'm below Ripon. I'm just at Green Lake right around here. That's Arnie, no. Maybe I'm, oops. I gotta find me, maybe here. Here. Am I this far up? Wow. I'm obviously following somebody here because it keeps jumping to them. Once I can find me, then I can click on it and stay there. Let me just have a quick look again back here. Back here. I am, oh, I'm right at the south end of Green Lake right there. Okay. So south end of Green Lake back here. There's Green Lake, south end. This should be me here. Yep, that's me. So I'm going to leave that tag up, you guys. I'm traveling at, well, it says here my ground speed's 100 knots.
Radio check.
Yeah, it says I'm 100 knots. So let me just see what it looks like in the plane. Now I'm going to follow that. I'm going to put in the,
Radio check.
5x5. I'm going to put in the Ripon waypoint, so I'm going to do that in a second here. I'm at 92 knots indicated. My true airspeed's 94 according to this. So I'm surprised that PilotEdge sees me at 100 knots. Wow. Outside air temperature is 13. Okay. 94. All right, so I'll drop it back. Maybe to 2000 RPM. And it's what PilotEdge sees on their map is what they're actually reporting. And if we're all different speeds, we'll run into each other. We got to all be at 90 knots. Okay, while I'm here, I'm just going to add in runway 36, runway 20. Oh, I left 36 going to 27. Yep. So en route, I don't know if you guys can see that, but en route, I will go to here and I'm going to put in Ripon. I'll do that just with the normal buttons. Looking for R. I know this could take a while, you guys, if you're not used to it. IJK, there we go. IP, holy moly. And you can use your keyboard here. I'm just going to do this real quick. P, because I'm not there yet. I'm not anywhere I have to talk. And now an O.
Radio check.
5x5. And let's put an N in there. Now they're doing their own radio check. They can hear their own voice. They don't need to hear me say 5x5, but it's normal in real life. Okay, Ripon, there we go. So I want to put in Kosh also, so I'm going to put Kosh in here also. Now it's turning to Ripon. Look at that. Ooh! Maybe too much. Let me see where I am. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, now I'll look at it later, but right now I'm just going to put Kosh in. K. Oops, it was a K. Jump to an L. K. O. S. H. Just like that. There we go. So, we're going to Ripon next. That's the idea. All right, so let's just see what this looks like as we go over to here. And we see where I am. I'm right here going that way, and I'm supposed to be heading that way. So I'm not quite sure. Let me see what's happening here. Supposed to be going to Ripon next, yeah. Yeah, I'm turning. Okay, I'm good. And I should be heading straight for here. All right, so that's what's happening, you guys. I'm going from here to here, and then I'm going to follow the railroad tracks from there. So that's the plan. You guys can see this too. If you want to take this URL, you can follow anybody you want on this map. All right, did someone put that in already? No. Like that. Did that come through? Yep. And let me put that over here also. Oh, look at that. Mike, you're so fast. Look at you go, man. All right, so there I am in a sea of other planes. Now, I am outside of these guys, but I am heading straight for Ripon. Somehow we're going to merge. I don't know, but these two guys are pretty close. Now, you can't do formation flying on the FISK approach. If you are going to do a formation team coming in, or a group of you, you can get special permission ahead of time, and then you will come in a different route, probably on a straight in, like an ILS approach. Right, I'm going to pick up the ATIS now because I want to stay on the approach frequency once I'm there. So I'm going to go to ATIS now.
Slight left turn, get back over the railroad tracks. You're going to runway 27 today. Just maintain 1,800 until the downwind, and you can monitor channel on 118.5 for the white English. Welcome to Oshkosh. And an orange Marquetti.
No, that's not the frequency I want. This is the
All
frequency I
pilots
want.
must set their simulators to VFR weather conditions with calm wind.
Yep.
Oshkosh, this information. Wind calm, visibility 10. Sky clear, altimeter 29er, 2. VFR arrival and departure procedures in effect. Arriving runway 27, runway 36 left, and runway 36 right. Pages 20 or 22 of the notice. Departing runway 27. Aircraft inbound from the FISK arrival proceed to Green Lake to join the FISK arrival. Aircraft arriving must be familiar with runway exit procedures. Refer to the bottom of pages 20 or 22 for your specific runway's exit procedure after landing. Upon arrival, pilots wishing to depart immediately shall follow the flagmen. They'll guide you back to the runway for takeoff. Pilots wishing to taxi to parking shall follow the flagmen until they see signage for parking. All Oshkosh departures refer to the departure procedures on page 23 of the notice. Pull out the designated parking area and follow the flagman to runway 27. Monitor tower on 1.75 as you taxi. And be listening and ready to go upon reaching the runway. All pilots must set their simulators to VFR weather conditions with calm wind. Oshkosh, this information. Wind calm, visibility 10.
Right, we got all of that.
Sky clear, altimeter 29er, 2. VFR arrival and departure procedures in effect. Arriving runway 27, runway 36 left, and runway 36 right. Pages 20 or 22 of the notice. Departing runway 27. Aircraft inbound from the FISK arrival proceed to Green Lake to join the FISK arrival. Aircraft arriving must be familiar with runway exit procedures. Refer to the bottom of pages 20 or 22 for your specific...
That's why I'm hearing people doing radio checks. I'm still on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But anyway, the approach, the arrival, the FISK approach frequency, the controllers sitting at FISK are 1207. So we just want to flip back to there. And we want to flip it over.
21.
And now we're listening to the FISK arrival people. The controllers.
236 and a right turn eastbound for the Rams.
Gonna be
Right
very
turn eastbound,
busy.
join Fisk Avenue for left base runway 36. And for the Rams, you can monitor tower now on 126.6. Welcome to Oshkosh.
So we'll get 1266 or we get 118.5. One in one tower or the other once we get there. So we can stay on this frequency now all the way up. Now what we want to do from here is we want to head over to the train tracks. So this is the approach right here. You can see the silos. These are put in here by PilotEdge.
Directly over the rail tracks at 1,890 knots. So if you can't do that, maintain 2,335 knots. We'll pick you up, type and color, and meet at Fisk. Rams, if you're still on, need you on a eastbound turn runway 36, eastbound runway 36. Blue and silver diamond,
There's the railroad,
blue and
right
silver
beside
diamond, a half mile
silos.
southwest FISK. Rams, I see you turn, looks like you're turning. I'm just gonna hang on to it for just a moment here.
Looks like you're turning. Oh, you're upside down. Whoops, you're sideways.
Hey, Rams, are you making a turn eastbound about a 120 heading Joint Fisk Avenue? If you're on the frequency, you can talk.
See? I let him talk.
Okay, about a 120 heading, go to Joint Fisk Avenue. 120 for the Rams, remain in frequency. The Diamond, you're going to 27. Continue up the road tracks for runway 27. And yeah, you can keep your speed up. You can monitor tower on 118.5 for the Diamond. The Rams, keep right turn, make a right turn point.
See all of us
right
getting
turn
in line?
southeastbound.
Nobody ahead of me, though.
Cessna over Fisk, rock your wings.
No one ahead of me, they're going to follow me. So, that's okay. That's probably why I
Good
don't
one,
see them.
nice job.
Should see someone
You're
behind
going
me,
to
though.
36 as well. Just continue up the railroad tracks, though. I'm going to give you southeastbound turn. I got traffic that's joining Fisk a little bit further. The Rams, keep it turning. About a 150 heading now, please. A 150 heading for the Rams. Diamond, if you're still here, monitor tower 118.5. The red and white Cessna that just passed Fisk. Go ahead and start a southeastbound turn point, please. Southeastbound turn, join Fisk Avenue. Rams, you're doing good now. Just use that heading. And do you have Fisk Avenue in sight?
So someone couldn't find Fisk, I guess. No trouble.
Nice job, just use that heading and you pick up Fisk Avenue.
See how they help
and,
out?
just maintain 1,800 until the interstate, and you can monitor tower now
Poor
on
guy was lost.
126.6
Helped him
for the
out.
Rams. Welcome to Oshkosh. Red and white Cessna, great job as well. And you can pick up Fisk Avenue eastbound, set you up for left base, runway 36. Tower pick you up by type and color at the interstate. You can monitor tower now 126.6. Welcome to Oshkosh. White and teal Cirrus, half mile southwest Fisk. Rock your wings for please. The white and teal Cirrus. You're going to be going to runway 27 for the white and teal Cirrus. Like, give me a good wing rock, please. There you go. Nice job.
Can't wait to do
and,
the wing rock,
tracks
you know?
Runway 27, and keep your downwind inside the gravel pit and maintain 1,800 until that point. You can monitor tower 118.5. Welcome to Oshkosh.
We all want to hear that. Welcome to Oshkosh. You know what I mean? I'm just doing small adjustments here. You know, typically, you
Rams, if you're still on the frequency,
stay over
you
top
just
of
went
that
over
railroad
50, you can
track the
turn back to
whole
the northeast
time.
after that. Black and white Cirrus, a mile southwest
If
of
that's
Fisk.
the
Rock your
railroad
wings,
track,
please.
let me
Black
have
and
a
white
look
Cirrus,
there.
rock your wings.
Yeah, that's the railroad track, because over here's
Nice
the
rock.
highway.
You're going to 36 today. Start your descent and start slowing. Give me a right turn eastbound.
You
to
guys
join
hear that
Fisk
okay? Because it's pretty loud in my ear. Is it all right with you guys? Good volume on the radio? If it's not, then I'll turn it up a bit.
Nice job, Cirrus. Yeah, there's just a couple miles ahead of you, so go ahead and keep it flowing and
Stay over the
maintain
railroad track.
1,800 until the interstate. They'll pick you up by type and color there. You can monitor tower now. 126.6. Welcome to Oshkosh.
Is it really loud? Okay. Wonder why. All right, let me come over here. Thanks, Maddie. Let's try that now. Wow, he's quiet for a second. Ooh, right when we want to do it.
White and brown Cessna, half a mile southwest of
How's
Fisk. Rock
that?
your wings for him, please. The white and brown Cessna, rock your wings.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, I didn't realize. I
Good,
should have
rock
asked for that.
Cessna, runway, let's go to 36. Start a right turn down for me east, please. Eastbound, join Fisk Avenue. Set you up
Give me
left
another
base, runway
sound check, you
36. For the white and brown Cessna. Got 3 Cherokee types coming up here. We'll pick you out once your fist. Just be watching the one ahead of you, and they're rocking. It's not for you. White and red Cherokee. White and red
Andrew.
Cherokee. Rock your wings for them, please. The white and red Cherokee. The white and
I'm doing
brown
a sound
Cessna. You
check.
can go ahead and monitor tower now. 126.6. Welcome to Oshkosh. White and red Cherokee. Half mile
Sound better now.
southwest.
Okay,
Fisk.
thanks,
Rock your wings
Maddie.
for me.
Yeah,
Good rock for the white and
Looked
red
like there were two
Cherokee.
audio
Straight up
forms
rail
here.
tracks for runway 27 for you today. Runway 27. The white Cherokee just behind the one that rocked. Rock your wings for him, please.
Excuse
The
me.
white Cherokee, maybe a Lance or a Saratoga or something. Rock your wings for him, please. The white arrow, maybe. White arrow, start a right turn for him, please. Eastbound. The white arrow, start a right turn eastbound. You're going to runway 36. Good rock. Eastbound for 36 for the arrow, and you come out of tower 126.6. Gray and orange.
There's
arrow.
where we're headed, right
Rock your
there.
wings. Half mile southwest.
So
Fisk.
1,
Gray and orange
2,
arrow. Rock your wings.
3, and then a gap, and then us.
The white one going to runway 36. You can monitor tower
Then
now
the white does
126.6. Welcome to Oshkosh. Red
Maybe.
and white Cherokee
that's
that's
why.
past this now. Monitor tower 118.5. Gray and orange Piper. Gray and orange Piper. Over Fisk. Rock your wings.
So there's us with a big gap in front of us, and then
There you
there's
go.
this-
Nice rock. Continue up runway, or
gonna
up the
call-
railroad tracks for runway
I'm gonna call
27.
this guy now.
For the gray and orange Piper. And just
Oh,
monitor
that's a
tower
Piper, right?
118.5. Just maintain that 1800 until the downwind. And welcome to Oshkosh.
You can see the ones he sent up to 27 on the railroad track, and here's the ones he sent down Fisk Avenue. But that plane there should be...
We've got some that are a little close in there. If you can't maintain, definitely can't have you side by side. If you can't maintain a half-mile in-trail spacing, just go ahead and break it off and return to the start. We'll pick you up by type and color. Once you get in here, we need you at least a half-mile in-trail. Yellow Cessna, half-mile southwest of Fisk. Rock your wings for one, please. The yellow Cessna, half-mile southwest. Rock
That's
your wings.
me.
And yellow Cessna, you're a little right of the tracks. Go ahead and start a right turn for me, though. We're going to runway 36. Right turn for runway 36. Got a blue and black banana.
See that? I wasn't paying attention, you guys. I got closer than I thought.
Yellow Cessna, go ahead and turn east to make a right turn over there. There you go. Nice job. Blue and black Bonanza, nice job. You're going to runway 27. Straight up the road tracks, runway 27. Yellow Cessna's making the turn now. Join Fisk Avenue. Just a little off your left now. A little off your left for the yellow Cessna. Join Fisk Avenue. And you can monitor tower on 126.6.
126.6. So you guys, that's what happens when you're streaming, you know? Like, holy moly. How many times I've done this?
White skyline.
So there's, you know you're on the right place when you see the towers. There's two towers up here somewhere.
Right turn southbound for the white skyline.
Oh, I haven't caught them already.
Cessna, rock your wings front, please. Half mile southwest.
This is it right here.
Half mile southwest, rock your wings.
And you can tell when you get past the microwave tower right here, then you know you're on Fisk. So
make the right turn, you're joining Fisk Avenue eastbound. Red and white Cessna, join Fisk Avenue eastbound for me, please. You're going to runway 36. The blue and black Bonanza, nice job.
Here. Wow.
You can monitor tower 118.5. White and gray Cherokee, half mile southwest, rock your wings for me, please. White and gray Cherokee, rock your wings.
So 1266, let me go there.
You got that white Skylane out there, white Skylane.
I think you said
go ahead and make a left turn now. Left turn westbound. I need to turn around Rush Lake. A left turn westbound for the white Skylane. Delta Romeo Zulu, looks like. White.
Runway 36 left. I've got a Piper behind you that's just a little bit quicker.
All right, I'm coming up to...
there you go, nice job.
I'm on the right frequency for this
Piper,
runway.
Just keep that square
base
for the runway
1,300 feet,
right.
So I took it off autopilot. Let me just
if you were inbound over Fisk Avenue, that east-west road, you should be maintaining that 1,800 and fly directly over that east-west road, not north, not south of it, but directly over the east-west road. I will pick you out as you get close to the interstate and assign you a runway. We're landing runway 36 left and runway 36 right today.
Beautiful. Give me
36
right, I hope.
left, that's the big runway. It's going to be a left turn into the grass to follow the flagman after landing. If you're landing 36 right, it's going to be a high-speed taxi all the way to the end to follow the flagman.
They're going to call me right here to rock my wings, and I'm going to turn into 36 left, or the taxiway, which is 36
maintaining that 90 knots and 1,800
I'm going to stay focused on flying now.
Once you get to the interstate, you can start that descent.
Showing you guys maps and stuff is obviously distracting me.
Also, make sure you're staying directly over top that east-west road for me. Cessna on 36 left, nice job. Left turn into the grass and follow the flagman.
I remember that voice. She might remember me. Oh, you again. You know. I'm almost at 1,800. There we go. 17 something. So almost made it. She'll probably tell me I'm 100 low. She should tell me to rock my wings right about now. There we go, 1,800 exactly while I'm over the overpass. Ah!
Piper on the right side, nice job. High-speed taxi all the way to the end. Looks like a Cessna,
right here, they're gonna call me.
Yellow Cessna over
That's
the
us.
Interstate. Start your descent. Yellow Cessna over the Interstate.
Start your descent. Hey.
You're clear to land runway 36 left, at or after. Let's give you the yellow dot for your yellow
dot
Cessna.
again. Lordy. Start my descent. Beautiful. Beautiful,
all right,
beautiful.
Looks like another Cessna over the Interstate.
I'm in the flap range.
Cessna.
I'm good.
You were clear to land runway 36
Over
right.
that way,
the
there's
right
the big
side
runway.
At or after the red square.
There's a solar farm down here and a community of some sort, so that's a good turning point right there, and the road that you see there. And now I should be around circuit height, maybe around 1,300 when I turn for my final. I'm sitting at 15 and I'm descending. That's what she's expecting. And if you go further, you're going to have to land at the other runway. I've been given this one. I've been given yellow. Let's have a look. That's how we get to Oshkosh. And you notice, you guys, it's actually good for you to see me screw that up. I was busy showing maps and showing where I am and making sure you guys knew what was going on. And I didn't pay attention to the fact that I overshot the FISK controller. And I was off the railroad track too. So, you know, they got me back on track, but I picked the wrong road. They said, now you're right of Fisk Avenue. I had to go left. And for some reason, sitting here, I've also all of a sudden got a sore throat, so who knows why. Anyway, yellow dots further down. First one is purple or pink. So you treat the dot as your threshold. You go all the way down. They want you to keep on moving at whatever speed you're at. I'm about 60 knots. Here comes the yellow dot. I'm going to get down as if that's my landing right there. Got my feet on the pedals in case I have to brake. I'm going to turn off to the middle taxiway. There's the yellow dot. We're not trying to land on it. We're just trying to land on or after it, like that. And we come down beautifully and let the nose fall. And they want us off here as quickly as possible. So there's another plane behind me. Probably Foxtrot, you know? You can turn off at any time and go over to the taxiway, but I'm going to use the pavement because it's, yeah, thanks for the butter.
Just basically on the final for runway 36 left now. Cleared to land on or after the purple dot.
So whoever's behind me now is landing on the purple dot. And they're sending me off this away. Can't I go straight through? I'll go straight through. Follow the flagman. I'm going to go over here and park.
And white skyline over the interstate. It'll be left base for runway 36 left, cleared to land on or before the purple dot, and the golden black Skyhawk turns straight towards the yellow dot, cleared to land on or after the yellow dot.
So the lady took a break, and the guy is now on. That's their voices go too. So the one who actually brought me in now, there's a different fellow on the radio. I'm going to sit here and watch the action.
And the white skyline,
and then we're going to do a departure, and that'll be it for today.
Runway 36 left, you're cleared to land on the numbers.
Hey, Viper, Flox is there somewhere.
Keep it in the air all the way down to at least the yellow dot, cleared to land on or after the yellow dot.
Tell us what frequency you're on. If you're going to 27, then I'll change over to that frequency. We want to hear you if you say anything, or we want to hear them talk about your plane. You know? So, I'm there. Now, let's come off this frequency and...
All right, if you were on that east-west road, you should be directly over the road, over Fisk Avenue. You should not be north or south of it, but directly over Fisk Avenue. I've got a couple of you that are a little bit north of it. I need you to correct. I think I got one out there that's a little bit south. I need you to correct back to it for me. Everybody in line, following somebody, that half-mile spacing. Looks like I got a Cessna that's trying to get back to the road. I appreciate that, but you're about to cut somebody off. Look off your right side.
Let me just get off this
There's a diamond over there.
Yeah, for the Golden Eagle, continue that left turn and join runway 27, or join the railroad tracks for runway 27.
So let's go
Grumman, I need you in a right turn for runway 36 over the over Fisk Avenue for 36. White and blue Cessna, half mile southwest. Rock your wings one, please. The white and blue Cessna, you're going to runway 36. Nice job. I'll go ahead and start a right turn for me, please. Join Fisk Avenue. And Grumman, if you can, keep your speed up just a little bit and join Fisk Avenue on Tower 126.
Grumman can't keep his speed up? What's with that?
The twin, yeah, keep it up high for him, please, and keep it faster. Rejoin the railroad tracks.
So, I'm also going to tune into, I think it's 118.5. I'm going to give you an idea what it sounds like at the other end, too. We'll just tune in that tower. You can do this in real life, too. You can sit in your airplane and just tune stuff in. I had a handheld radio for all of this.
Small trail spacing, 1,800 feet, 90 knots until the gravel pit. At the gravel pit, that's where you're going to start your descent. And about at midfield down, I'll pick you up by type and color and give you clearance from there.
Go here.
Big Ford Miller's Bay inbound for a low approach.
Big Ford, roger. Report turning 2 mile final, runway 27.
Big Ford, you guys. That's the tri-motor. There's two of them flying here, just like in real life. They're Ford tri-motors, and they are being flown by PilotEdge employees.
Turn your base to beam the numbers. Actually, turn your base to beam the orange dot. Clear to land on or after the green dot.
So I'm taking you over to all this action you're hearing on the radio, which is runway 27. Is the active runway for here right now. And this is where everybody's coming in right here. There's runway 27. And they've got some colored dots
green,
also.
Orange, diamond, turn your base now, turn your base now.
You see one guy there.
Turn all the way
Someone's
around,
should be
clear
right
to land,
here.
on or after the orange dot.
On or after orange. So
Big Ford, runway 27, you're cleared for, you on the low approach, you said?
Where is Big, oh, maybe this is the big one right here. Ah, there he is. Oh, there he is, I just passed him. So it's not, looking like a tri-motor for us, but this is the tri-motor. This is the big Ford.
Big Ford, runway 27, cleared for low approach. After low approach, early right crosswind.
Right crosswind, Big Ford.
Really right crosswind.
November 2 Romeo Charlie, continue over the railroad tracks, and I want you to turn your downwind just a little bit north of the gravel pit. I'm going to put Big Ford in front of you. He's doing a low approach over runway 27.
Slip slide anyway. These guys are actually taxiing back now. This is the way to taxi back. Follow the flagmen and go over there, and you'll be turning out that way. And you can see someone's already here, and they're going to go and take off or go park. But anyway, we got someone else coming in. Let's see. I think he was orange dot. Hey, he is the right kind of airplane. There it is. There's Big Blue. Low approach. He's doing this for all the photographers. Look at this. Yeehaw. I could have gone up the railroad tracks, but they decided to send me over Fisk Avenue, right? And now there he goes. There's 2 of those flying, you guys. That's part of the PilotEdge scenery. Those are PilotEdge employees flying them through the whole show, the live show that we're on right now. They normally park over here at the Warbird section, which is right in here. Matter of fact.
Okay, for anybody that has landed runways 27 are going to be landing 27 here shortly. We're going to be switching over to arrivals on 27 and 18, departing runway 18 left.
Departing 18 left. Oof.
November 2 Romeo Charlie, turn your base now.
Departing 18 left. Okay, that's where I'll be headed.
Ford, I'm going to have you follow the aircraft.
Now these are the 2 Ford tri-motors. One's the big one and one's the small one. They call them Big Ford or Big Blue or Baby Blue or Baby Ford, whatever they want to call them.
Where Wally is.
And I'm surprised to see one in the air plus the static one here on the ground because there's only 2 of them that are flying. The Thunderbirds. This guy's heading down. These guys are heading down to take off.
Charlie looking really good. Clear land on or after the green dot.
I actually shouldn't be going down there for turning. Because right now she said she's going to be turning.
Ford, runway 27, you're clear to land on or
she's going to turn this
dot.
into our departure. That's where we're going to depart from. And right now they got people coming in on it, so it's not yet.
Everybody coming up over the railroad tracks. I need you guys 1,800 feet, 90 knots, half-mile and trail spacing directly over the railroad tracks.
Sorry guys, probably hard on the head.
0 Alpha Echo, continue on the downwind. You're flying Big Ford, wing up right base. Green and white Cessna, that's over.
So there's a Big Ford right base you'd be right about here. Alright, let's try and stay here and not get you guys dizzy.
For that Cessna 13 Sierra. Parallel the carbon cub.
Hey, who did all that?
Right, I'll call your base for
hey, how you doing, man?
Again,
Ace is in the house. How's it going?
The railroad tracks. You guys are cutting your downwinds in too tight. White and red.
Have a good evening, Flox.
Go back towards the gravel pit. You're cutting it in way too tight. White and red, 6
way too tight.
Fly northeast.
Way too tight.
Me,
so someone has turned in here too tight.
Keep flying eastbound. Carbon Cub 0 Alpha Echo. Turn your base now.
This guy here.
The orange dot, clear to land on or after the green dot. Green and white Cessna. Turn your base in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 now. Green and white Cessna 13 Sierra. Turn your base now. Turn your base now for 13 Sierra.
Right there.
White and red.
Come on in.
Juliet Kilo. Continue on the downwind. I'll call your base. 0 Alpha Echo, you're doing really good. Take it down to on or after the green dot. Green and white Cessna 13.
So this one's coming over to the green dot.
On or after the green dot now.
There goes Baby Blue.
Again, continue your flying the Cessna. That's angled right base to final there on the dogleg final. Give it about another 3 seconds, and you can turn your base. Again, everybody coming up over
coming to the green dot.
I need you guys
Bouncing around.
The okay. Tracks. Do not start cutting your downwinds in now. 20 Lima, you're turning your downwind too close.
Wow.
Take it to the gravel pit. I need you guys to turn that downwind over the gravel pit, not about a mile just north of the field. So again, 2 Quebec Lima or 20 Lima.
See, they didn't follow the NOTAM properly, you guys. So see these guys that are up here? She's telling them that they're kind of too close.
Everybody that lands runway 27, right turn into the grass.
I'll show you what it's supposed to be.
White and red 6 Julie Kilo, clear to land on or after.
So here's the railroad tracks we were following.
2 Quebec Lima.
If we kept going, we'd be coming up all the way up to here. You follow them exactly all the way to the gravel pit. I'll turn it down a bit because she's really working it. But this is still the railroad track right here where I'm pointing, and you're supposed to go right up until you're behind the mall, and then you're supposed to turn here, and you can go down this road right here, which I think is 5th Avenue. I forget what road this is, but Ace and I came in here for lunch one day, but I forget this road. But it's a north-south road. It's perfectly aligned. You can see this guy's turning before the lake because your threshold is further up. It's not way back here. Normally this is your threshold. Well, that's actually a displaced threshold. But none of us are landing on 27 right here. We're all landing at one of the colored dots. And this guy's going to be given at least the orange one or the green one to land. This guy we saw coming in, he's pretty high, so I'm guessing he's got green. And it almost looks like he's doing a go-around. Ooh, where is he going? He got the wrong runway. Ooh, that's dangerous, you guys. In real life, there's traffic coming in the other direction there. Not sure what he's doing, but that would not be acceptable. That is not the proper go-around procedure either. Now he's going to cross the runway. Oh. So that person, if he's violating and not correcting, the PilotEdge can just take him off the network. Sorry, you guys.
We are switching to 27 and 18 for arrivals and departing runway 18.
Mamma mia.
So be prepared for that.
It's just surprising to see that kind of flying going on because it's not normal. So I'm sorry if there's a lot of stuff going on here, but that's what it's like in real life. They've got two runways going. They got two different controllers managing their own area, and it's back-to-back flights. This is a taste of it. In real life, they're all back-to-back, like every single airplane. So you really got to follow your instructions. It's the right speed, the right altitude. This is a normal right downwind for 27 coming over here. And you just have to follow the rules. And if you follow the rules, it works out fine. Like you saw with me, I came in and landed. There was nobody around me. It worked okay. Yeah, she's getting swamped. Yeah, Warbird Island's over here. She's got a Warbird coming in. Warbird Island is probably where my pointer is right there. So Warbirds are coming in that direction, around there, around the seaplane base. And they're coming in and turning for a left base for 27. So they're all coming in this one too.
I need that downwind turn over the gravel pit, 1,800 feet, 90 knots.
Good for her. And she has to keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it because people aren't reading it. But you guys, it's simple. You just have to take the time to read the NOTAM, right? And it's all explained very simply. Let me just show you. There's somebody right there. Should stay over the railroad track. See how he's turned too soon? He's turned way too soon. Look at that. He should be over the gravel pit. So he should be right here. But anyway, let me just show you something else, right? Where's my manual? I want to show you something. And then we'll take off and that'll be the end of the stream, guys. So let me just give you a second here. I'll turn the radio down a bit. I think at page 23 or so. Lots of information in here that you need to learn, but let's just find out. I'll come down here and show you what I mean. So this is what they give us, which is really easy once you realize what's going on. You've seen a taste of it when I was showing you in the camera. This is for arriving 27, 36 left. Okay. Land 36, land 27. All right, so here they're showing us we're landing 27. These are the dots. And they want us to go off onto the grass and follow the flagman all the way around. Is the stream still running? My controller vibrated off the table and fell onto the keyboard of my streaming machine. You're still streaming? That means my airplane is moving around, you guys. Uh-oh. Can't have that while I'm on the network. Hold on. Where's my airplane? Yeah, look. I'm going to just turn it off for now. Wow. Not while I'm on their network. I don't want that. Hey, there's one of the helicopters with tourists in it. Isn't that cool? All right, so let me just show you a couple things, you guys. I just, not to go into too much detail. Here, landing on 27, taxi to parking. So they're just taxiing around and coming back. Here, they're landing on 27, but they want to take off again. So they're taxiing around the same way, all the way around the runway, all the way back past all the tents in the aircraft. Then onto this hard runway here, which is just a taxiway now, this taxiway, and then all the way down to 36. And 36, we depart from here and go out. They have specific procedures for this. When you depart, you're supposed to stay no higher than 1300, turn around and go south. So remember, there's all this traffic going on up here. I just landed here, and right around the blue dot is where the control tower is. I'm parked right here. So when I leave, if this is the departure, it's easy enough. I just have to do a right turn here and just come out like this. All right, and away I go for departure. Easy enough. It's going to be simple, you guys. But I'll do the proper thing. But it sounded like she said 18 left might be the departure runway. So we might be heading out the opposite direction, which means the winds are changing, right? If that's the case, then I'll just taxi up to here and over and then back. All right, but anyway, we'll figure it out in a minute here. We'll find out what the active taxi is. And then it just shows you, I won't go through all of them, but it just shows you each one, depending on which way you're landing, depending on which way the wind is, it just tells you where to go. You pull off onto the grass, pull over to here, and away you go. So everything is explained. So the minute they give us one of these, like I know they're sending me up the runway, the railway, and they're going to send me over to 27 on 18.5. And so I know I'm going to be landing here. What do I need to do? And it's good to practice this without having a PilotEdge on. Go practice these arrivals, and there's nobody around to confuse you. There's no one around to get you agitated or overloaded. And you just simply do the thing and get to know, oh yeah, you taxi over here. Use their scenery because you're going to use it for real. And then get used to the area and used to the flagman and used to all this. And then turn on PilotEdge and see if you can do it. And if you can't do it, turn it off again. It's simple enough. You'll disappear out of the sky. PilotEdge, you won't be on their network, and you're fine. And now start over again. So don't get overwhelmed and push through it and force land it and bounce on the runway and all that. I just saw one skid sideways down the runway. So you know, don't do all of that. If you have to, you could even get on the mic and say, "Can't do it this time. See you soon," and then just take yourself off the PilotEdge network, and you'll literally disappear off their network. All right. Anyway, this is a great. They've actually done really well with this manual. It's better than it was. They didn't have all of this stuff, all of these scenarios of different ways. But don't get overwhelmed. Just listen to ATIS and see which way are things going. And right now I came off here, and the normal departure is to come out here and go back on this taxiway and head out this way. All departures going out on 36. I'm going to listen to ATIS. If ATIS says still 36, I'm just going to simply taxi down here and take off. And the interesting part is, you guys, you don't hold short right here. You just come down here, they'll see you coming, they'll call you and say, yellow Cessna, clear for takeoff, runway 36 left. Because this taxiway is now 36 right during this event. So if they don't hear me, I have to stop. Because who knows, it could be somebody coming in, right? But they typically, I've never had anyone have to stop here. All right, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see if they pick me up. If I'm on the right frequency, I should be able to get my clearance to take off. If you're landing on the taxiway, there's two squares, the red square and the green square. They didn't give me that this time. They gave me this one. But if you're on one of these, you have to taxi all the way to the end. You can't be crossing over here. So you got to go way down to here, turn around and taxi all the way back. So if they give you this one, it's great. You saw me just pull off here and go right over into parking. Real easy to do that. Website decoder's in error. What? Current real weather winds at Oshkosh. No, they're not doing current real weather. In the NOTAM, it says calm. They want calm, but they are going to change the runway when they feel like it for variety for us. All right, so let me go turn things back on and let's get out of Dodge. And that's, I said it would be a short stream, you guys, and I don't want to make it too lengthy here. So let's get this baby back on again. Battery's on, beacon's on, mixture's rich, quarter that. Radio's already tuned, prop clear. Get that radio turned up a bit here. Garmin is good. And I'm on 118.5.
Everybody, if you're monitoring the frequency.
What is she saying? If you're monitoring the frequency? What?
As a reminder for all my aircraft coming up from FISK, I need you guys directly over the railroad track.
Oh yeah, she's still reminding them because they're not listening. You know, it's all new people every time. So now I'm on the departure frequency. But what is the departure? What runway, you guys? So I'm going to move it over to... give you guys an idea what I'm doing here. I'm going to move this over to, oh, low voltage. Oof, 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 oof. Maybe I should turn my generator on. There we go. Nice. Look at that. Low voltage is gone. Good. All right. Over here. Going to change it over to COM2 and flip-flop it.
On page 23 of the notice. Pull out of the designated parking area and follow the flagman to runway 18 left. Monitor the tower on 118.9 and be listening and ready to go upon reaching the runway. All pilots must set their simulators to VFR weather conditions with calm wind.
Man, oh man. You guys.
Oshkosh 8 is information Delta. Wind calm, visibility 10. Sky clear, altimeter 2992. VFR arrival and departure procedures in effect. arriving runway 27 and runway 18 right. Pages 20 or 21 of the notice.
18 right.
Departing runway 18 left. Aircraft inbound for the FISK.
How could they have a 18 right inbound and have a 18 left departure?
Aircraft must be familiar with runway exit procedures.
I got to make sure, you guys.
Pages 20 or 21 for your specific runway's exit procedure after landing. Upon arrival, pilots wishing to depart immediately shall follow the flagman. They'll guide you back to the runway for takeoff.
645, runway 18 left,
shall follow the flagman until they see signage for parking. All Oshkosh departures refer to the departure procedures on page 20. Pull out of the designated parking area and follow the flagman to runway 18 left. Monitor tower on 118.9 and be listening and ready to go upon reaching the runway. All pilots must set their simulators to VFR weather conditions with calm wind.
17 Delta, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
Oshkosh, this information Delta.
They're going out 18 left. So I'm very surprised at that because aircraft's coming in on 18 right, so it's usually not the case.
Arriving runway 27.
Let me turn that down a bit. It's only ATIS and I'm on the ground, so I can ignore it for the moment. Where are we? Oh, that's Oshkosh. Okay. So don't mind the chatter, you guys. I got ATIS on, plus I've got the takeoff frequency on. So hold on, I just turn that down so we don't hear it. I'm gonna go look for some traffic here to see. I just heard someone cleared for 18 left. So 18 left is right here. Yeah, look at them all lined up to go. All these guys are ready for takeoff. Wow. So how can I get there from here? That is not a taxiway. So I have to go up to the V here and turn around. Okay. Up to the end of this taxiway. So I'm over there by the tower, like that area. I'm going to come up this taxiway here. Turn right. Turn left. This is what's cool about the sim, you guys. Turn around here and get in line. And they're sending them off one by one. All right, so I'm going to turn off going to turn off the ATIS. I'm going to listen to the departure frequency and just watch what's happening. There is a threshold here, although in real life you can...
page 24 of the NOTAM. 150 headings off of 18 left, 1,302, you're clear to class Delta airspace.
150 heading, you guys. You can even dial that in. 1,300. 150 right here. So these guys are waiting here at the threshold of 18 left, and they're just going to be, because there's a congestion there. See
and 0035 runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
There's a guy right here at this station right here with a microphone. And these guys are the ones that are letting you take off, right? That guy was just let go to take off, and away he goes. Oh, that guy was, sorry. He's going to, as he gets airborne, he's going to adjust his heading. Right now it's 180. He's going to adjust his heading for 150 and stay at 1,300 feet and not above, because there could be someone above you at 1,800.
14 Papa 5 runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading till there's no more runway, then 150. He's cleared for takeoff. Right, so I'm going to get in line. This guy's next. More twins behind. Another Cessna, another twin. All right, got to get in line. So let's get there from here.
163, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff, 5 runway heading.
Right here. And then from there you go wherever you need to go, and we'll stop the stream at that point. I'll stop at some farmer's field and land there. Get back in the plane.
65 Delta, fly runway
this has been interesting, you guys, even in all its rawness and all its live, and the mistakes that we make along the way. But just keep in mind, you can make those mistakes too. They'll help you out. I was off track on FISK Avenue, which I know so well, and they got me back on track on FISK Avenue.
November, runway 18 left, fly runway heading, clear for takeoff.
I'm going to stay on the departure frequency while I get over there. And I'm heading out toward the airport. There's a guy that already took off. And away I go. I'm going to actually come over to the grass because there's a bunch of flagmen there.
Just 8 Papa Delta, fly runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
And these guys are probably pushing me forward. Let's see what their flags say. Yeah, those are both going forward. Beautiful. These guys are saying don't turn right. Right, see that over here on the right? On both sides, they're saying go that way. Yep.
Baron 262, fly runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
I'm surprised. Usually the guy that's saying cleared for takeoff usually reminds everybody, you know, not above 1,300 feet and fly 150 or fly runway heading forever.
Cecil 7 Echo Sierra, fly runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
And these are the real controllers that you would get if you were here for real, you guys. That's what's really cool. These are paid controllers. That's their career. They live in control towers for real. And we get to have them here in SimVenture all to ourselves. Pretty cool.
3 Bravo Echo, fly runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
All sponsored by PilotEdge, you guys. Now, it is a premium ATC product. When I say premium, it's got real controllers. They're expecting you to be able to know phraseology. Most of us have our radio license so we can speak properly whatever happens. And so it is intimidating for the majority of simmers. Many of us are on PilotEdge, and when there were no other options, this is what I used. Many more are on VATSIM because it's free, but you don't always have a controller. You have to keep going higher and higher to get one.
Tango Golf, fly runway heading.
So VATSIM is perfectly fine too, you guys. There's all of these options that we have available. I like say intentions because it's anytime I want, every single airport. And it works great. So, maybe he wants me to go straight ahead. Yeah, he does. Do they not want me to turn there? Not blocking it. He's saying go straight ahead. Okay, I'll go straight ahead. Follow the flagman, you guys. No, they don't want me to turn there. Not sure why. Maybe I'm butting in. Who knows? But you got to follow the flagman. Really need to be able to tell red from green when following these flags. Yeah, it's with depending on the light, I find them hard to read too. Because it's not evident. The black arrow, like what does it say right now? I'm just looking at his arm movements. His arm movements mean go ahead, you know. If one arm was dropped, I'd have to turn in that direction. So I'm looking at normal marshalling signals, even though he's got flags. Every person flying here is a pilot. Every person knows the arm signals, the marshal signals. That's part of ground school, right? Now, somewhere up here I get to turn. Let me see if it's right here. We got to turn around and get to 18 left. Probably right here. He says straight. He says straight. Let's try this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, those guys up ahead say turn right. Yeah, it wouldn't be those 3 guys up ahead that have arrows going to the right, would it? And I'm turning right here. Look, the flagmen are all here now. All of these...
Departing 18 left, we'll be going runway heading. Maintain 1,300 to clear the class Delta airspace.
You guys remember what he just said? Did he say 1,300 or 1,800?
This is 6 Tango Mike, fly runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
And this is 18 now. I'm looking at my heading indicator. It's 184, so I'm on the right track. I've got, oh, they got all these signs on the left. They're telling you the tower frequency if you're not on it by now. You should know that from the NOTAM, but you know, it is about doing your homework, you guys. And then
just a 15 Mike, fly runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
The nice thing is that you can just come here with your camera and listen to the radio and just watch the planes be on the PilotEdge network and just hear it all happen wherever you want to be. Sort of the taste of what I gave you guys. You don't have to fly it. You don't have to touch the microphone to start with. It's a great learning experience. There's no doubt about it. I better slow down because I don't want to eat this airplane for breakfast. All right, I'm about 5 in line by the looks of it. That's the cart with the controller right there. So it should be off soon. 3 planes ahead. Oh, thanks for that, Charlie. Charlie's watching out for me, man. I was guessing 5 from the distance.
4-5, Foxtrot Lima, fly runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
Transponder is on, 1200 alt, looking good. Temperature pressure's in the green, looking good. Looks good. Fuel feels good. I got quarter tanks, not going far.
Four Lima Lima, fly runway heading, runway left for takeoff.
Someone just spawned in right there. Could be a controller. The airplane just dropped. I'm next. You can't even be on the roll if they call you ahead of time, but they haven't called me yet because they were so congested. There we go. This is our departure. Pretty fast, isn't it?
991, fly runway heading, runway left, clear for takeoff.
I'd like to say 901, thank you, but you know, thanks for the great job you guys are doing.
Thank you. Pepper 5 Charlie Juliet, fly runway heading, runway left, clear for takeoff.
You hear that? They actually cleared him for takeoff just as my wheels were just lifting off the runway, officially. Mamma mia. Stay on the runway heading, Howard. That's what he said. He did say that, didn't he? Okay.
Number 40 kilo, fly runway heading, runway left, clear for takeoff.
18 left. He's saying it so often now, the poor guy's got having trouble with it. Mike says, tight. You bet. 1200, coming up on 13, lowering the nose, staying around 13. There we go. Heading down. Dun, dun, dun. Let's put that on AP, and I'll put the heading bug on. Oof. That was close. Started to follow nav.
Black and green, what is this?
Black and green
fly runway heading, runway left, clear for takeoff.
Yeah, the black and green blah, you're cleared for takeoff, yeah. Now, as we get further away, there's that, I'm sure that's a solar farm right there in real life. Once you get past there, there's the Fisk Avenue approach and all the rest of it. Now you can start climbing higher and getting out of Dodge. So I'm going to take this up to 18 now.
Just Delta Romeo Zulu, fly runway heading, runway left, clear for takeoff.
And I'll set my FLC for something like 74 knots. There's an easier way to do that. There we go.
Cessna 2 Charlie Delta, fly runway heading, runway left, clear for takeoff.
Yeah, the poor guy. Probably been at it for hours and hours. So I'm going to be at 1800. I'm just going to come in and land at a farmer's field up ahead, and I see that one. I just turned on my thing. Fun Air, that's what it is. Oh, maybe that's not a farmer's field. Well, we'll go there. Let's go to Fun Air. I'm just going to look around and see who's with me, because a lot of people departed behind me.
Cessna 2-3 uniform, fly runway heading, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
Someone could be, you know, close behind. I'm going to take my AP off and come in and just put it down here and be done, you guys. And that'll be the end of the stream. Any questions, then certainly ask them now in chat. There's a person right there. You really got to watch traffic. Look at that. He's still at 1300 crossing in front of me there. I looked left. I couldn't see anybody. So, oh, there's another one right there. They're all over the place. You notice that? This is real flying, you guys. You got to notice the plane. Look, there's one right there. Do you see him?
They're
really moving.
Fly runway heading.
There's another one right there. Really moving. Now those are PilotEdge like me, so that's the only reason you see them. If you don't have PilotEdge on, you're safe. You don't have to worry. I really got to look here. There's got to be someone else coming up here. No, that's fine. All right, I'm getting down. But both of those guys are lower than I was. And I'll just come in on a left downwind for this airport here. This is a grass strip.
Little Ford, runway 18 left.
Little Ford. That's the tri-motor, you guys. It's the Ford tri-motor. We had a lesson on that. I don't know if I made it on YouTube or not, but we had a lesson on that. I should dig it up, turn it into a YouTube video. We had a lot of fun with that. Ford AT. We did the 4 and the 5, which is what they have at Oshkosh. Yeah, that looks like landable. Yeah, I can do that.
40 Delta, fly runway heading, runway 18 left.
Little Forder, that's it, Mike. Little Forder, yeah. You know, I always said, Mike, if I ever had a child of my own, I would call it Kanta. Silence, yeah. Radio tower, look out, radio tower. Too much fun, you guys, way too much fun. In the sim, you can be more relaxed about it. In real life, it's like, yeah. The hard part is back at the converge of all of us at Green Lake is a hard part. That could have been what probably overloaded flocks to you guys, because that's tough. Someone's beside you and they're not budging. One of you has to go. You can't be touching wings in real life. You can't be doing any of that in real life, you know? You gotta make it happen. So you gotta do a circle, like a 360 and come back, or you gotta just get out of there and go around the lake or something, right? I got full flaps because this is, you know, soft field landing. I want to come down as slow as possible. I'm at 58 knots. Easy as she goes, gentle as she goes. I'm almost going to stall. Get the nose down. You don't want to stall. No stalling. Which one's the actual runway, you guys? What do you think? This guy here? Or the darker one? I would think the lighter one. No, it's probably the darker one. We'll do one wheel on each. It's the same once you get here. And we just keep the nose up. See if I can do a side view here. Keeping the nose up while you're applying brakes. Do not run into the house. This is the there goes one overhead, you guys. This is the proper approach if you were doing a forced landing, because now you're near a house to get help, you know? Hey, thanks for that, Charlie. Flaps up. And I didn't tell you guys, but this is my new home, so this is my driveway. Just kidding.
36 Tango, fly runway heading, running 18 left.
Wouldn't that be nice? Look, there's a spot right here for my airplane. Right here. Look. I do all my maintenance right here in the backyard. You know what I mean? Scaffolder. Okay. Scaffolder. Did you get mine, Mike? Some merch that has a shirt with that on it. Yeah. Kanta. This is all of us who would love to. We would love to own it. I better turn my radio off. For all of us who would love to own an airplane, you guys, you know.
See signage for parking.
I said I would name my child.
Now runway 27 clear.
Kanta Forder. That's it. Get it? Kanta Forder.
Cherokee 36 Tango.
All right, that's it. Now we'll close down the PilotEdge client first. Just have to find it. It's here somewhere. And go here. Go here. Settings here. Oh, that's just the settings, you guys. So I'll just go over here to the client, which is here.
Cherokee 3936 Tango, are you ready to go?
Mamma mia. Oh, there it is. I had it on a separate browser. So look at them all. These are all the ones that are still doing it, you guys. There's the whole FISK approach that we just did. Some of them... Oh, there's me landed. Some of them are going along FISK Avenue.
Tango, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff, fly runway heading.
You guys, they're clearing people for taking off here, and look at this guy here. What is he doing? This is the stuff that makes you shiver, because there shouldn't be anybody coming in. These are all parking. These are all landed and parked. So, you know, that's fine. Anybody coming over on FISK, I'm surprised to see that now, because are they actually going to land you here while one's taking off the other direction? I don't think so. Anyway, it's interesting, isn't it? I think it's fascinating. The fact that you can look at this live map and see everybody doing it right. There's Ripon, there's Green Lake. Look, we got lots more people coming. So you can see this map for free. Go look at this map. It's a URL, you guys. And if you do get the PilotEdge client, you can get the 24-hour free and just enjoy this in its entirety today. I think today's the last day for it. And then the real Oshkosh is happening soon, like in a week or two, right? Anyway, that's what that's all about. All right, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to disconnect. Failed to connect to the client. What? I'm still getting, oh, because I shut off stuff? No? Still running. Just turn off the engine now. Engine is off, yep. And then shut off the power. And with power off, you won't hear the radios anyway, but I'm very surprised at this. I did hear radios, and they did clear me for takeoff. Wow, don't know what that's all about. Anyway, I am disconnecting. There we go. Failed to send the command. Please make sure the client's running. Wow, isn't that something, hey? Okay. So that was fun. We did it. We're there. We're there. Butter. Thanks for that, Super Ty. Yeah, 1300. I appreciate it. Yeah. Great little Oshkosh stream. See you Tuesday on Twitch. I hope. Super Ty, get your account back, man. I want to see you on Tuesday, right? Mike says starts next Monday. We'll see lots of stuff for the booth there. Are you going to be there, Mike? Oh, you sent lots of stuff for the booth there. Who's going to be there? Brian and Melanie and the gang? Are the developers going to be there too? Like, that's cool. You got a booth there. So you guys, Say Intentions will have a booth there. You saw the tents when I was looking at the scenery. And that's pretty cool that they're doing that. They're involved in the biggest event in the world. And, well, it's the biggest in North America. You know, I'm wondering if the Paris Air Show is bigger than Oshkosh, but we never know, right? You won't go. You should go. You should go. The aviation guys will be there. Yeah, what's the fellow's name on the team who is a retired airline pilot? He's a riot. He's a riot. I like him. And man, he flew. You could sit over a beer and listen to stories about how he flew stuff. I think it was the Caribbean, right? Man, the stories that he's got. Holy moly. It's just fascinating, right? Jeff says, will Microsoft as will be there? No. Charlie's saying, Brent? Yeah, not SI, your day job company, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Oh, I see, your day job company's going to be there. I get it. Okay. Charlie's saying, Brent, is that the airline pilot, the retired guy? That rings a bell. One of them was Brent, yeah. It's just like 3 days, you guys. It's like, wow, it went right by. And now it's like, who are those people? So, you know, I have to be reminded. You guys, thanks a bunch for being here. This has been the event for a pop-up stream, we call it. I don't normally stream on Sundays. I usually have to compete with Sunday football and all the other things, family things that are going on with people. So I stopped doing Sundays long ago. But I thought I'd do that today because it was the last day for PilotEdge and the last day we could actually do this and have some fun with it. And hopefully there's a little bit of education there too. You learned a bit about what's going on. You also saw how busy it can get. And sometimes that's the part that keeps people away. A lot of those planes you see in the air are pilots in real life. We're used to that kind of focusing on just our plane, focusing on that we're doing it right, focusing on us instead of the mess of everything going on. I think a lot of people get upset with all the radio chatter, especially when I was monitoring 2 different frequencies. I can pick and choose the parts I need, but that's just from, you know, flying since I was in the 90s. But, you know, the point is that can be overwhelming, especially when you don't reply. You know, yellow Cessna, rock your wings, good rock, go down Fisk Avenue, blue and white, go up the railroad track, next plane, what is that? And it's like, holy matter, you know, can you take a breath there, buddy? That's how busy it gets, and that can be overwhelming. You really got to listen for your plane. And they will do it like that in real life. They'll say red and white Cessna. They can't see your tail number, all right, in real life. So you really got to be watching for your plane. That's pretty cool. Hey, you're welcome, Srap. Thanks for being here. And Mike and the rest of you too. Charlie, thanks you guys for being here. Super Ty, thanks for finding a way in. And Maddie, great that you'd showed up. And I'm going to go off and have some birthday cake, you guys, because, you know, you're never too old to have birthday cake. You know what I mean? We'll see you later. We'll head to credits. I think I've got something to do with Oshkosh. I don't know. I think in my credits. Let me go have a look. But I'm crediting all of those who are subscribers to the Twitch channel. I appreciate your support, you guys, and thanks for supporting the channel. We'll see you Tuesday for our in-depth lesson, part 1 of the Starship, the Beechcraft Starship. It's going to be a very detailed and in-depth lesson and a lot of fun. We'll see you then, everybody. Take care. Have a good one.